just part of how it goes, you know. Not every week's gonna be. I do think. I don't think I did the 80. I think that was the first time I've done. You know, the warm ups have not felt the best, but if I recall correctly, I think I said that same thing last Monday, and I wouldn't say I performed. I wouldn't say it was my best, but I did pretty good. So I'm hoping I kind of have the same results here. So there's only one way to find out, and that's to try it. So I have, again, this is like 380 on the bar, real weight, not 405. Um, Basically, my thoughts at this point, since like I said, the warm ups they really don't feel good at all. Um, I'm gonna do a set, and if how do I say it? If it goes kind of like I'm fearing it might, and it's just pretty freaking heavy today, then I'll probably go down. I'll only do one set. But if it goes like last week, I'll try to bang out 3 sets like I did last week. So really, it all just depends on this one. I do like to. I always kind of play my workouts kind of on a set to set basis, but on the same hand, I do kind of like to keep things. Once I start something, I like to finish it. You know what I'm saying? So even though I am flexible, I would prefer, like I'm here, I'm starting with 4 plates. I would prefer to just do my 3 sets with the same weight. But just again, based off the warm ups, that's gonna be it's gonna be a toss up. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. Um, Here goes nothing. I don't know. I feel like I'm not quite more than anything. I feel like mentally and psychologically, I'm not there. You know, not in the best headspace to be lifting this kind of weight. But see if I can change that. Oh, yeah. I don't know if today's gonna be that day. I honestly think the best thing I can do right now is just go down to what I normally have been working with. Try to get some good sets of. Honestly, I don't even know what I'll get at this point, but that just feels way heavier than last week. Which, you know, I should have known that was probably gonna happen. Just with my experience on the powerlifting side of things, I gotta think. I have not went this heavy in almost a year, and last week was the first time I did it. Like I said, in almost a year. and I did. Oh, what did I do? I think I did six. Then the second set I did six again, but I think I was probably capable of doing seven. And then the fifth or the third set I may only gotten five or something, which is not my best. Not one of those sets was even close, but it still felt, I don't know, it just felt good to go heavy again. But I feel like I'm just kind of having um, that fatigue and that my nervous system took probably more of a hit than I thought doing that. Like I said, it was almost a year. I've just been working with roughly around 315, maybe 325, three. I think the most I've been doing as of late is 335 for reps. So I don't know. Should I try it again? Let me think. I might do it again because I typically do better on my second set, anyways. So maybe, like I said, let me ponder, and I might do it again, and I might not. I don't know. I have no freaking idea, to be honest. All right, so I think I've come up with a plan that I kind of like, considering considering how heavy this feels. So I'm gonna try just one more set with this, and then I'll go down to 335, which is what I typically have been working with. I'll do two sets of that for hopefully around 10-ish reps, maybe a little less because would have already done two of these, and then I'll follow it up with just one set, a back down set of maybe just two plates. Just get a shit ton of good reps to make up for the kind of the lack of reps that I'm doing on these first two. Um, but I don't know, man. It's been so long since I've done heavy training, like really heavy. I want to get a little bit of a that element back, even if it's just for a short period of time. Even if it's just like, I don't know, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that. Um, and like I said, it's not really going to take away from my hypertrophy based stuff, because I'm only doing two sets of this, and then everything after that's going to be higher reps. So, and then especially so on all the accessory stuff. So it's like, how much am I really missing? If anything, this is probably adding a little something that maybe I've been missing for the past X amount of months, you know. So yeah, I'll try to build this back. Like I said, this shit feels way heavier than it did last week, but that's that's just part of how it goes, you know. Not every week's gonna be an improvement. That was about all the juice I could squeeze out of that lemon. Man, that feels so much heavier today than last week. But I mean, on the bright side, I did one more rep on that set. Took everything I had, but that's a great set if you ask me. So I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead because I know one more set of that is just gonna fry my nervous system. So now it's just hypertrophy, good heavy hypertrophy, which is a little bit higher rep range. So only take 45 off, throw 25 on. And I'll do two more. Some heavy shit, man. It's been a while. Damn it. That set was kind of fucked from the start, man. I couldn't find. I was laying too far that way, so I racked it back and scooted up, and it still wasn't far enough. I felt like I was benching almost to my neck. I should have just re-racked it again and figured out what the hell I was doing wrong. I know what I was doing wrong. It's just, man, I feel weak as shit today. Whew, like really, really weak. Well, that was kind of pathetic, but I'll try one more. I'll try one more and see what I can do. Maybe I'll be a little more aggressive coming out of the hole. Still control it pretty good on the way down, but um, yeah, just a little more aggressive. Man, if I feel like this, I'm hoping at least I get a good pump. Because if not, damn, I'm in store for well, just to be quite frank, pretty shitty day. So I feel fucking weak. All right. Nonetheless, I'll try one more, like I said. See what happens. Well, that was a little better, but still, compared to what I've been doing, I mean, just to be bluntly honest, it's pretty pathetic, really. But normally when I do this weight, I am fresh. It's set number one, and I did two sets, 40 pounds heavier. So that definitely took a little something out of me. I guess I can't beat myself up too much. All right, fuck it. It looks like the only thing I'm gonna try to bring out of this that's somewhat positive, unless something just drastically changes. But that's gonna be the pump. So I will go down to um, I think 2 1/4, 2 and a 25, and see what I can do with that. Because that's not crazy heavy for me, but it's not like so light that it's, in my opinion, be kind of pointless. I think it's a good middle ground. Oh, all right. Let's save the drop sets for for all the other exercises. That was somewhat pretty good, I guess. So I'll end on a pretty good note, and we'll go do some decline. Okay, your guess is as good as mine on this. Um, the flat. Let me, I want to say this real quick. The flat. Well, first of all, I think I've been doing too much Smith machine, and you guys know I've really grown fond of the Smith machine. When if you would have asked me 2 years ago, I would shit on it all day and all night. Not literally, but yeah, like Smith machine, I've really grown to love it. Um, but I think I've been doing it too much because, like again, on Smith machine, if you don't, it's a fixed movement. So if you lay down and you're off, you're down a little too far or up a little too far, and even like you might even unrack it and do a rep or two and think, oh yeah, yeah, that's fine, and then you get really into the grit reps, the ones where you really gotta grind, and you can feel when you're off, when you're too far down or up. You just don't have the same power, the same. It just feels awkward, almost dangerous sometimes. You know what I mean? So I come over here and I went straight to 235. This is a 55-pound bar, and immediately, I can bring the bar down exactly where I want it, and immediately it felt better. So I'm thinking, I just think I need a break from Smith. And the past two Thursday bench days, when I start with the incline, I've done dumbbell and that's felt really great. So I think even if it's just 4 weeks, if it's only 4 weeks, I think I'm gonna kind of steer away from Smith. I'm gonna try. That's the key word. I'm gonna try. If I somehow find myself drifting back over there, no, I'm like for real. I want to give myself a break from that. So it's gonna be a lot of dumbbells, a lot of barbell, and even the machines over here. I've kind of forgotten about them. So, anyways, this is 325. Um, again, based off how flat went, you know, your guess is as good as mine, but 10 reps maybe. Um, pretty decent pace. I'm not gonna go super slow or super fast. Just try to be steady. See what I can do. Okay, well that wasn't 10, but it was still better. I would say. Well, it was at least better than the third and fourth set on flat when I went down to 335 because I was expecting to get nine, at least nine there on those, and I did seven and then eight. So I was only off one rep here. I just feel, man, and this could be another thing. Again, I'm still doing the 2 days a week of chest, normal, a normal 10 to 12 sets, and then I've been sprinkling in another couple days at the end of whatever workout and doing like 3 or 4 sets of that, and I can almost feel, and I've been saying this for weeks now, but I can really, really start to feel my chest just burn out way sooner than it should. You know what I mean? Like that did not feel heavy at all. And then I think it was like the sixth or so rep. It's like immediately I felt a difference, and my chest just started having that sore, fatigued feeling way sooner than what it should, based off how the first. And I've never been like that. I've never been the kind of guy that I kind of hit a wall out of nowhere and then I'm done. I've been able to grind them out. Um, like I've been the kind of guy where it looks like I do a rep and it's like, oh, he's done, and then I get three or four more. So, anyways, do two more and I'll throw in a drop set. Do some accessory work. I've already talked way too much. Whew, I feel pretty burnt out today. I really don't know how much more I'll even do. This is, you know what? I was due for a bad chest day because I've been riding a hot streak. I mean, I can't even tell you the last time before this that I've had this bad of a chest day. I mean, I maybe had a couple in the past 3 months where I've been a little weaker. Maybe the pump just wasn't quite as good, but nothing that has been drastic. Almost to the point like today where it's just super noticeable. Um, so I was due for one. It happens. It just sucks when it does. But yeah, let's go do some upper chest, some upper maybe some incline flies, whatever I can kind of squeeze into at the moment. Fucking finally, something good happened today. I don't think I did the 80s last week. I think that was the first time I've done incline flies with the 80s. And I mean, again, you're talking since the last time I was really trying to get as strong as I could. So at least 6 months ago, if not longer. Um, so yeah, and that felt pretty fucking light. You would think, like, this doesn't make sense to me. You would think if that felt light, on the incline dumbbell flies, then you would think that would translate to everything, and everything would feel kind of light. But with a bench press, there's a lot more collective muscles firing together. So if one little thing's off, they can throw everything off. And not only that, I think several things were off with me today. I mean, one, I wasn't even laying in the correct place that I thought I was. So but like I said, finally something went good today. So that felt really fucking good. I'll throw in one more exercise, a couple sets. Yeah, and that's gonna be it. I think I'm gonna check. I actually have a decent pump now too. So this may not be a completely lost cause here. Um, Now I'm starting to get somewhere. So let's do one more exercise and see what that gets me. I might even do a little more because I'm just now starting to get a pump. So we'll see. All right, so I'm thinking this is probably going to be the last thing I do. Never say never, right? But I'm like 90% sure. So I want to go pretty high in terms of the reps. Now there is a limit. I don't want to go over, say, if I'm doing over 20, I'll probably add some weight. But even if I do over 15, I might consider adding some weight. So, and I think I will. But I'd rather go too high than too low at this point. So let's see what this does. Okay, that was actually, I won't say perfect, but it was damn close. So I'm gonna do one more like that. Probably throwing two drop sets if I can. We'll see how I feel, and I think it's gonna be it. Okay, now I won't say this is my greatest pump, or even, well, I'll say, well, how do I say it? If I put a percentage on it, well, that don't even make sense. Anyways, it's not my greatest pump, but it's not bad. Which, considering how this workout started, I was kind of worried. Obviously, my strength was not really anywhere near top notch. So the only thing I could really chase was the pump. And after 5 sets of flat, 3 sets of decline, didn't really have much to say or show for that. But luckily, the incline flies, for whatever reason, felt really fucking good. I felt strong, which again doesn't really make sense considering, I didn't really feel the strongest on the others. But I kind of gave some reasons why. A compound bench has a lot more variables at play, compared to an isolated fly. So even though I might feel strong on one, maybe I might not feel strong on the other. But yeah, the incline flies along with the big drops that I just did at the end, yeah, a pretty good pump. So let's do a quick pose routine. I'm not gonna get crazy with it today. Um, and I got some abs to do, and then go home and recover. That's what I need right now. Some recovery after my my shitty performance in terms of, again, the strength side of things today. That's gonna eat at me all fucking week. But anyways, let's check it out. All right. Here's hoping tomorrow's gonna be at least a little better. Now I could go back and post and see that actually, I got a better pump than I thought. But again, right now it's somewhere in the middle. I said all that to basically just say somewhere in the middle. It's not out of this world, but it's also, I've had worse. So I think the main thing, and the main problem I'm having right now is coming to terms with how just weak and pathetic the bench session went. But that's part of holding yourself accountable and holding yourself to higher standards. You know. So if anything, you know, I guess the positive I can take out of it is the incline dumbbell flies were really fucking good. The best I've done in a long time. So that's good. But if there's nothing else I can take out of it, it's just good motivation. Good motivation. So I'm gonna go do some ab training. I am done after that. So see you guys tomorrow.